Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's open a beverage of your choice. Because today is Friday. You know what that means? It is another episode of Frightful Fridays. And today I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to review Ouji House. Never heard of it? There's probably a good reason. And again, if you haven't heard of it, consider yourself lucky. If you've never seen it, consider yourself luckier. So let me get into the bones of things and let you know what I really think. Alright, so the movie is basically about, there's a group of, 4 people? Sorry. They're all going, okay, there's the central character, well, there's 4 central characters, but the main of the 4 central characters is a college student by the name of Lori. She's a college student and she's getting a degree in something pertaining with the occult. I'm not sure. They may have said what the degree was. I don't really recall at the moment. But she's doing a book on the occult. And it just so happens that there is a house that her family has in its... there's a family that has this house in its, possess. I mean, like families and an extended family that they are caretakers of, or whatever. And back in the day, it was a house where a bunch of witches had had their little coven meetings or whatever, and I guess they're white witches and stuff, and so she wants to go and do a. She and her friends are going there despite her mother not wanting her to go there. For some reason, she's just don't go there. It's bad. It's evil. Whatever. They go there so they can do some. She's doing a book on her, like a thesis, and somebody's gonna pay her money for this book so she can get her mom's house back, because her house is being foreclosed upon. It's her boyfriend, and another friend, and their guy and girl who are boyfriend, girlfriend. And what she isn't telling the other two is that she is going to wants to do like use a Ouija board and try and get a hold of the people. And of course, in the movies, if you use a Ouija board, something always goes bad. Yeah, most people, if they use one of those little things, nothing happens. But in the movie, of course, I guess it wouldn't be a movie if it didn't go bad. But you find out that the leader of the coven was this guy, and he had started using these rituals in which he wound up kidnapping people with kids and having to play some sort of game where you had to, like, there'd be a group of letters and you have to try and make a word out of it or something like that. Like, I IEVL, and you'd have to say it's live or evil or whatever, and then have to get the right words, or they'd kill him and then they'd take the babies, and he'd use the babies for some horrible purpose and all that. I guess the setup was kind of interesting in a sense. I mean, it's the same thing, It's the same thing as all other movies. There's bad things happen in this place, people ignore it, and then they get fucked because they're too stupid to figure out they weren't supposed to be there to begin with. But it just starts going downhill because there's some things you can forgive in a horror movie just because that's the way it's supposed to be. People will make stupid decisions. If people didn't make stupid decisions in horror movies, you wouldn't have a horror movie. So you just, okay, whatever, that's stupid, they shouldn't have done that. And you let it go because that's what's supposed to happen, and it wouldn't be entertaining if they just said, this is going on, let's get the fuck out of here. And at one point they do actually try to get out of there, and there's a reason why they couldn't. So at least they tried to cover that base. That was probably the only thing in there that it made sense after a certain point. Decision-wise and stuff like that. But I'm trying to decide whether I should do some spoiler stuff on here. Okay, so minor spoilers, they aren't really gonna, not gonna tell you exactly what happens on all this stuff, but, the Ouija board, it kind of keeps disappearing and appearing. So there's one of the girls, the non-Laurie girl, for some reason, saying, hey, we want to have some fun. So she strips down to her bra, and she's wearing a pair of shorts on her bra, and she puts all the stuff from the Ouija board on her torso, so they can use that instead of the boards, and then it's just like sitting right there. So what is this point of doing that if they have the board right there? And they're using a rock that has some minor significance in the movie up to that point as the planchette. And so they're asking questions, and they're moving up. She's got yes and no here, and all this, starting at her belly button. And they start going up, and it looks like it's going to go to yes or no, but the thing keeps going up and up and up, and it comes to her mouth. And you'd think that the people would say, okay, even if they weren't actually moving the thing, that they'd say, once it gets up to like right here, they'd be like, okay, this is stupid, let's try and stop it from moving, and stuff. But it winds up she swallows it. Which, you're like, it's a big rock, so it starts choking her. It's like, idiots. And then just stuff there's just things that keeps going from there. And there's some writings on the you find out that there's writings on the wall, right? That this girl was able to find, even though they didn't see it. And then at some point, later on in the movie, they decide to cover that stuff up so it couldn't be seen. Which doesn't make any sense because the stuff was painted over when they found it. And she'd be going over and doing stuff, and they'd undo the paint from the walls, and that's where it was. So covering it wouldn't have stopped it because this creature already knew the stuff was there. Just stupid shit like that. That just, makes you go, what, what? That's not gonna help because if it, and it just sort of took me out of these things. I'm just, you're breaking your own rules. If you're gonna set up a set of rules for something, you have to follow your own rules. Or else, what's the point? If you're just gonna pull shit out of your ass every couple of minutes just to try and get some, you're gonna lose the audience. You're gonna lose all credibility and stuff. And that's, then it doesn't add to the fact that it's not a very good movie, and the acting is, I don't want to say questionable. I don't want to be mean. Okay, I'll be mean. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Let's try to be a little nice here. It wasn't. They weren't going to win any awards, even Razzies, for this. So all in all, it's just one of those. I couldn't even watch it in one sitting. I was starting to get bored, and I was like, okay, I got to finish this because I've already invested time in this, and I've got it's like Thursday night. I just turned off the last half hour and watched the rest of it this morning, just because I was like, I can't do this. So it was just, it's one of those things where you're just like, yeah. Do yourself a favor. If you've never seen it, don't. It's on Peacock in case you want to torture yourself. Or if you're into watching really bad movies. And it's not even a so bad it's good movie, it's just a bad movie. So, just, I say don't waste your time. I mean, there's two big names in it. There's Tara Reid, and you're kind of sucking if you consider her one of the, a big name, and Dee Wallace. Both of them have small parts. Dee Wallace, if anyone who has ever knows anything about movies ever, you know who she is. She was the mom in E.T. She was in The Howling? Yeah, whatever. Howling movies. And a few other things. Cujo. But really small part. And so just, those are the two only, recognizable names I recognized. So I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5. And say, just don't waste your time. Really don't. Yeah. I've seen some bad movies, and I've seen some of the later Hellraiser movies, which I might review later. And I might say that those were a tad bit better. I don't know, I haven't seen them all yet, but yeah. Anyway, so that's what I think, and you can take my opinion with a grain of salt if you want. It is, what they say about opinions. They're like assholes. Everyone's got one and they all stink. But that's what I think. So let me know if you've ever seen it and what you thought of it, if you watched it. And like, subscribe, most of all. Try and enjoy your horror movies.